Okay, good afternoon. I'm Carmen. I'm from the Food Science and Safety Program. It is a new devices in Hong Kong and also in device. It is a electronic taste sensing system. I call it a electronic tongue. So today's symposium about AI. So it's kind of AI. Our yi-tongue has to learn the taste first. It means the taste chemical or materials before it can be used to taste the food samples. So I'm going to introduce you how to operate these electronic tongues and what we have done so far. Because we got a government fund from TSF, so we brought this instrument to align some project with local food industry to improve the food quality. It's something like that. So today's topic, robotics meets taste, the development of sensory label that for selected beverage using our e-tongues for analysis. So I begin now. So I got some picture from the market. I just been to Japan last week for a food exhibition, right? So you can see this kind of product. You're quite familiar with this Troya plum wine, right? Kind of plum whiskey. So, and you can see that a sensory label, a kind of taste profile appeared on the product label all around Japan, but not yet in Hong Kong, right? You cannot find it in Hong Kong. And also, I went to a shopping mall in Tokyo, and they are selling prawns. I think they put it in the rice dumpling, right, for rice. And they have over 20 varieties of this kind of prawns uh, with different aging method or different age. It's like our Chinese chanpei, the citrus peel, in different years. So they have a taste profile as well. And also in City Super, a local supermarket, it is a Japanese supermarket, but they sell beer, right? And they have a sensory profile for customer. So before they taste the product, they know the taste. They know if they like uh, a sweeter or a bitter beverage they want, right? We cannot open all the bottle to try before we buy, right? So it is a smart way to help consumer to choose uh, suitable product. Just give you an idea what we are doing. So it is the machine, the instrument, the electronic tongue in our Chenyi campus. Chenyi campus. We brought it from France. It is a France instrument company called S3. So for developing, for product development and sensory analysis, I think this instrument is powerful. It's powerful. So when we can use this machine, during the R&D stage. I mean, during the food product development, when we have some pilot production or trial of the product, we can do the sensory test by the electronic tongue, and then we know how to modify. And later on, we hope that this e-tongue can collect data from local consumer. So I will understand when you choosing coffee, right? What are the parameters you're looking for? Or the Hong Kong milk tea, which one is the best? Or when you're choosing a Hong Kong milk tea, what is the taste attributes you're looking for? The bitterness or the tea flavor, etc. Right? And also a prototype tasting, testing. I mean the new food product prototype testing. So it will save a lot of time than using human for sensing. I will talk about it later. And the formulation, some modification and adjustment of the food formula. Whenever we need to change the raw materials or ingredients during food productions, right? It may affect like the texture, taste, flavor, etc. So we need this machine to make sure that the product still tastes the same and it still meet the customer satisfaction or expectation. And consumer preference and feedback, Of course, we use this electronic tongue to battle with human tongue already. So human tongue can send almost exactly the same with the electronic tongue in terms of the taste intensity. For example, in this machine, we sense for example, a soft drink in 0 to 10 intensity. 10 is the sweetest. Maybe the machine can sense 8. The human sense 8 too. So it is how powerful the electronic tongue can be, right? And for innovation, new food ingredients or new technology, so it is, as a food scientist, we need this electronic tongue to help us modify the recipe before the product can be spread in the market. Right. There's some limitation in traditional sensory analysis. I'm not sure if you have tried it before. Traditionally we use a group of panelists like you or sitting here. We have a sensory lab in our Tsingy campus, right? And human has their own limitation, right? Whenever you're not happy today, or you're feeling full, or you caught COVID after COVID, etc., it affects your sensitivity on taste and flavor, and it affects how the product performs, right? And it is a human-machine system. Later on, I will show you how the machine works, how the taste come out from our yi-tongue. So we are mimicking how humans sense taste. I mean, the electronic tongue is mimicking humans' sensing system. And there are sensory input limitation for human because, for example, you cannot taste the sweetness of sucrose, fructose, lactose, galactose. You can't taste the difference, but this machine can do this. Different kind of sweetness from different taste chemical, right? And also a decision-making limitation. Somehow, when you say the product is good, it tastes good, maybe because of the appearance, color, the environment. But this machine will not have this feeling, right? So it can have a good judgment. And also the pandemic. During the pandemic, we cannot call human come back to our lab to do the sensing, right? So we need the machine. That is why we introduced the yi-tongue into our campus. So basically, human use our tongue, right? And taste is kind of memory. You have tasted before, you probably can get out the memory from your brain. And we have our taste bud, our nerve system. We send a signal to our brain, and then our nervous system tells us, oh, it is sour taste, it is sweetness, because in our memory, we can recall it, right? And for the electronic sensing system, taste sensing system, we have kind of a strip, a sensor. We put the sensor in the unknown sample, for example, in a red wine, cocktail, and drinks, and the signal will be processed in a computer. Of course, it is kind of a big data. And through the data processing machine, we have some very complicated graph come out. So later on, we turn it into a sensory profile, like the sensory profile chart I showed you in the first slide. We put it into application. So this is how it looked like. In our yi-tongue, there are 7 strips, 7 sensors, and each sensor are sensitive to specific taste materials, right? So after the sensing, it has to be liquid sample, aqueous liquid, right? And then we through the machine, it is a little bit similar to HPLC, kind of a calibration and then sensing, right? So it is how we start our wine tasting by the yi-tongue. In sample preparation, for example, I take red wine as an example. We have to prepare taste standard for the machine to learn first, or we call it a calibration. So, for example, in red wine, we believe that fructose is the main component for the sweetness. It's not sucrose, not lactose, not galactose. So we have to dilute fructose in a cereal dilution and let the tongue taste it first. So we are trying to calibrating the sensor. So it is fructose sweetness. And we want the electronic tongue to taste this sweetness for red wine later on. So we have fructose, and then we have MSG as the umami taste, because it is a fermented product. It should have umami taste and also sour taste, right? We can use hydrochloric acid as the standard. After the calibration, we can put the unknown sample for the sensor to taste. It takes usually 2 to 3 hours because we taste the same sample for 5 times. And then take the FH data. So the distinctive taste of wine, including sweetness, sourness, umami, and astringent. The astringent is coming from the tannic acid. In Cantonese, right? We call it astringent. So after that, we can have the sensory label. So it is the sensory label we developed with our ICI, our International Culinary Institute in Port Folam. So it is kind of white wine, the Pinot Grigio, right? And the sourness, umami taste, astringent, sweetness. And then we also measure the alcohol level, pH level, and viscosity, because viscosity represents the wine's body, the texture, right? When you taste wine, you have to taste the body of the wine. And it is another example of cocktail. Cocktail is a screwdriver. So it has 3 taste parameters or attributes: sweetness, bitterness, and sourness, right? So this menu and this label is available in our training hotel already. And this is the menu now they are using. So you can, customer can scan the QR code, and then this will pop out. And it is bilingual. It is a cocktail called Grasshopper, and it is developed by us. Okay. And we have done an analysis on tea. We believe that the different brewing methods affect the taste of tea. A cold brewing, hot brewing, right? Different parameters. We boil it for 5 minutes and then cool it down to room temperature for the taste analysis. For cold brewing, it is quite popular now, right? Cold brew tea and cold brew coffee. So we use ambient temperature water and soak the tea bags and then put in the refrigerator for 12 hours. So it's our cold brew method. So we have done on different type of tea bags. So let's just show you one example about green tea. It is green tea, yes, lok cha. So different blend, 4 blends. And the purple light shows the hot brew taste profile. The dark blue line shows the cold brew one. And the taste parameter include sourness, umami, saltiness, bitterness, astringent. So like I said before, who tell me about these 5 taste parameters? It is the machine, because the 7 sensor can tell me which tastes are the most distinctive for these drinks, this product. And then we prepare the sample and taste. So it may be interesting to find that for some tea bag, cold brew is better than hot brew. And for some, hot brew may be better than cold brew. So we are looking for quite balancing taste profile, right? Balancing. And we developed a formula of alcohol-free beer or low alcohol beer. So we use LA01, the low alcohol yeast, to ferment beer. It is a normal brewing method. But with this LA01 yeast, alcohol will not be produced after the brewing, after the fermentation, but it will turn into CO2 or H2O. So the overall alcohol level is around 0.2%. We can measure by us. It can measure by us. And we put chrysanthemum flowers into the beer. We believe it protects our liver. It is healthy to our liver. If you know, it is kind of flowers, gokfa. So in Chinese medicinal theories, kind of clearing your liver, right? Good for your health. So I think it matched with beer, and it matched with the taste and color as well. So we call it a name in Chinese, in the middle here, 冇相干. It's kind of a sounds like in Cantonese, it will not hurt your liver. It's not hurting your liver, so it is protecting your liver. So we developed this formula, and then we use our electronic tongue to analyze the taste, and it is the taste profile of our alcohol-free beer, and it is liver-friendly. And we have done some analysis on Hong Kong style mooncake. It is Hong Kong mooncake. So it is the most traditional one, the white lotus seed paste mooncake with two yolks, 就係雙黃白蓮蓉, right? And we actually test for the 3 top brands like Maxi, Wingwa, and Kiwa. If you are local, you probably know the brand name. But I don't want to show it here. It's kind of secret. But it is our student project this year. The most balancing one, the gray line, should be the most popular one. But you can find that in brand B. Some of the, for example, saltiness are too distinctive. Of course, it may fit some consumer, right? But I can say that the most popular one, the most balancing one, the gray line one. Some secret here. So next, we are going to find out the best combination between coffee and non-dairy milk or the plant-based milk. You can see that plant-based milk is quite popular now, right, in all the cafe. But which plant-based milk is more suitable for which coffee bean, coffee blend is still unknown, right? They let you choose the soy milk or oat milk on your own flavor, right? But who has already told you that which oat milk or almond milk is best with a particular coffee blend? So we are trying to do this kind of analysis, and so a consumer can understand better before they choose their favorite coffee, right? And this is the end of my presentation. I hope you all enjoyed this AI e-talk. Thank you.
So, and a 2004 is very different to a 2018, right? Even though they're the same product from the same winery, everything, same grape, whatever, but the taste profile is different.
Yes.
Right? So you're getting a taste profile from every product. And then you've got companies like Vivino, right, who are playing with AI to get data sets from their wine customers, because they're also rating the wines for taste. I'm just wondering if there's a possibility you can put the two of those together, and then you can get a profile for a person, and then you'd be able to actually predict what wines in the future. So if you know a wine's coming up, and you've used your taste robot to taste it in advance, you could actually suggest that wine to them as being within their taste profile.
Yeah, we want to do that but you have a very good ideas here. But it takes a lot of time to collect all the data from everyone, different age group, different genders, or different nationality, etc. We have different taste profile, right? We hope this e-talk can help local consumer, because Hong Kong people have its own taste buds on drinks, on wine, and I hope later on we can have more Yitang in Hong Kong, so we can have the data collection. So food industry or food manufacturer or restaurant or chef can produce product according to this data. So it is more targeting, right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yep.
Yes. Oh.
So this is the first time I hear.
Yes.
I know this kind of topics is very interesting.
Yeah.
So for the whole day's forum, we are always talking about that AI will not replace humans. But I find that it seems that the Yitang will one day replace humans for tasting. So do you think this will be true in the future?
I don't think so. Of course, in this, 3 years ago, IBM, the computer company, has already started to develop a portable Yitang to sense food. But because this Yitang actually has its own limitation, right? It has its own limitation. It can only taste the product, but our sense of food is complicated. The taste is actually connecting to profile, our olfactory, right? When we eat food, when we eat, we are sensing the flavor and taste via our tongue and also the olfactory system. But this can only sense taste. But later on, we can have our nose. You're correct. And there are eyes as well. If we can combine these three, maybe we can. And we also have instrument to test the food texture, right? Maybe we can replace human, right, for sensing, because I think human has its own limitation. For example, wine or coffee testing, if they have a good level with the wine company or something like that, they said it is the best red wine, right? But the machine can give you a good reference, and it is a repeatable data, right? More reliable, more scientific. Thank you. Thank you for your question.
We got a question here from online, which is asking if you can share if the IFC have any program to study the taste profile of Hong Kong milk tea.
Hong Kong milk tea.
Yeah, does the IFC have a program for that?
Our Food Innovation Center, right? FIC, is we have organized some tailor-made program for local food industry already. Some food company. I'm not going to tell you the name yet. We train the staff, and we also test their product. But the profile now is only for internal use, so we are not publishing. So if you are interested, you can contact me or contact us. We can tailor-make a program, a training program for you. But actually, under VTC lifelong learning short course, we have a sensory analysis short course, but we haven't got enough students yet. But we can. I think the food company prefer we tailor-make one for their group, right? Because they are having the same background or targeting the same product. It's like that. So welcome you to contact us for further information.
Okay. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Maybe not too technical, but
yeah.
You were saying about there are 7 sensors that go into this electronic tongue.
Yeah.
How does it actually work? Is it a chemical reaction? Is it passing electricity through the test circuit?
Oh, right.
How is it actually measuring this?
Right. It is kind of a electro. So it can actually sense different kind of ions, chemicals, right? So we are, for example, sugar is kind of sucrose. So it tastes the sweetness of sucrose. So we need to find out the taste with a chemical first. For example, sodium chloride, hydrochloric acid, tartaric acid, acetic acid. So different type of taste material for the Yitang to calibrate first before we can taste our sample. So we actually need to know what's in the food of the taste profile first before we can use the Yitang to sense the food product. It's like that. I hope I answered you the question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.